Hello, and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
Jessica.
House of the Dragon Season 2 premiered last night. Did you
Wow.
watch?
Did not.
No?
No.
Why?
I was busy slaughtering last night in.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
but
House of the Dragon. But well, I guess I'll start tomorrow.
yes.
Is it like the whole season out, or are they doing one episode?
I think they're doing one episode a week, yeah.
Oh
There
shit.
is only one episode, so.
Well,
Is that not what they did last time?
I don't recall.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It has. It's been a few years. Yeah, I
Okay.
think they're doing one episode a week.
Okay. So I won't feel overwhelmed.
No, but if you like scroll on Reddit and stuff, you might get
Ooh.
spoilers, so
Oh, okay.
make sure to
I'll
watch
stay
it
after that.
ASAP.
I've only been on one subreddit for the last months.
Okay.
I only read it on my lunch breaks, really.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest I'm a TikTok.
Yes, TikTok millennials, they're a thing.
Yeah, well, Gen Xers too. Granted,
True?
all the ladies at my job, Gen X.
Oh,
Mm.
I see. It's for people of all ages.
Sure, you can entertain anyone.
Yeah, there was like I think I saw a clip of a TikTok of like a 101-year-old lady.
Nice.
And she was talking about how at the airport when she's like checking in, eh, it's something, I don't remember how it works, like where she's from, but they take her birthday, and for the year they just take the last two digits. So it's just 23 because she was born in 1923. And so the system flags her as a minor traveling alone.
That's hysterical.
So she needs to be escorted everywhere by like security or staff or something.
Sure.
Because
She's pretty elderly.
yeah, but I guess the system just flags her, so she has to like wait for people to come escort her.
Right, and they're expecting a child. And they
Yeah.
see an elderly lady.
Well, I don't even know what they would expect because 2023, that would be a 1-year-old traveling
Right?
alone, which makes no
That's
sense.
crazy.
I guess their system just flags anyone who was born before X time.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's funny.
That is.
Anyway. All right. Well, I was going to talk your ear off about House of the Dragon, but I can't do that now.
Ah, shit. Next time.
That's okay. Everyone who's listening is probably relieved that they have more time to watch it anyway.
No. Not get spoiled for her.
Exactly. Well, I would have tried to not talk about spoilers, but
Mm-hmm.
it usually happens anyway. All right. So, today we're talking about Shadow Scale, chapters 14 and 15. But before we get to that, what are we drinking?
My apple cinnamon tea again.
Nice, classic.
Yep.
I have water.
That's a classic.
Yeah. Jake and I were playing Baldur's Gate. So, we're actually like getting some progress in. So, I didn't want to stop to make tea.
Sure.
It's like pulling teeth trying to get him to play this game with me.
Oh no.
It's not
Is
that
he
he
not
doesn't
into it?
like it, he's just super obsessed with this other game right now.
Oh.
It's like the only thing he wants to play.
Sure. I can understand that.
Yeah, except yours is Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we finally made it to the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
We're like fully in Act 2 now, which is great.
Ooh. That's exciting.
progress
About
is being made.
summertime.
I know. And we've had he's had the game since it was in beta.
Damn. What happened?
Right? I guess he didn't start, like, really playing it until I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Though I got it pretty quickly, but he had it since it was in beta, so way before I did.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think he's, like, just super distracted all the time. And when he's working, we're on vacation right now, so this is probably why we're making progress.
cool.
But usually, like, after work, he's super exhausted, and the only thing he wants to do is nap. And then on weekends, we're, like, too busy. So it kind of makes sense why we haven't really made any progress. But hopefully, maybe we can at least get most of the way through Act 2 by the end of our vacation.
Ooh. How exciting.
That would be cool.
Yeah, what?
I want him to, like, see some of the cool reveals and twists and stuff.
Right. That's kind of exciting to watch someone experience the game.
Yeah. I remember when we first started dating, there was some show that he, like, hadn't seen before, and I was like, what? You haven't seen that? And he was like, I know, like, dump me now or something. And I was like, no, this is my favorite thing ever. When I've seen something and you haven't. I love to, like, show people the stuff that I love.
Experience it for the first time again.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hell yeah.
It's my favorite thing ever.
I know.
But that aside, I'm drinking water.
Agua!
Yes.
My favorite.
Is it?
Yeah, I love water. It is peak drink.
This is true. I mean, hey, nothing hydrates like water.
That's why I say the actual adult drink. It's not alcohol, it's actually water.
True. So true, actually.
It is. It's so good. Where have you been my whole life?
It's like right here in the sink.
Exactly.
Could get me anytime you want.
Yeah, apparently. I'm glad I found it though.
Yeah.
I love water.
Yes. I've probably told you this before, but when I was in Spain right after high school, it got up to like 40 something degrees Celsius.
Nasty.
So it was so fucking hot, and it was World Youth Day, so we were all gathered in like an abandoned airfield, and there was about 1 million people there.
Jesus Christ.
That's not exaggerating.
That sounds safe.
Yeah. All crowded in this abandoned airfield. And I remember there were like fire trucks parked around with like firemen on top literally spraying the crowd with water.
Oh no.
But they were only around the edges, so obviously not enough to cover 1 million people. But there was that, and I remember when we would be like walking through the streets heading towards certain World Youth Day events. It's a huge thing, World Youth Day, just for people who don't know. It's a huge event, and so like the entire city knew it was coming. So and everyone who went to World Youth Day had like t-shirts and backpacks that were recognizable. So we'd be like walking down the street, and people up on like balconies in their homes would like wave at us, and we'd like wave back, and we'd be like, agua por favor, and then they would like bring buckets of water and literally toss it over the edge of their balcony to splash us.
Yeah.
Which was very nice. So there was that. And I remember at the airfield, people at some point, like I guess peak of the day, people started dropping like flies from heat stroke.
Ooh.
Like everywhere you looked, there was someone who was like passed out or passing out.
Yeah.
It was rough. So there was like paramedics or EMTs rushing through the crowd at all times. And I was young and dumb, and the only thing I brought to hydrate myself was a 2 liter of Fanta, which I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like a carbonated juice drink.
Yeah.
I think it's carbonated. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. My memory's
Oh
telling me it was
no.
carbonated. But I thought that
Fanta
would be
is
enough.
carbonated.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Oh, no.
So I was a dumbass and I was drinking this thing trying to stay hydrated and it was not enough. Like my mouth felt dry, my lips were like cracked, and I was like struggling. So eventually I just poured out all my Fanta and like found one of the water taps. There were like some stations for water.
Okay.
Filled it up and drank that, and it was like everything changed. Yeah, everything changed when I got that
Water.
first sip of water.
Mm-hmm.
I did not regret pouring that Fanta out.
Yeah. Oh, no. I feel like as kids, like I also had to go through that learning stage of bringing water around.
Yeah.
Yeah, as kids, we really did not. we really weren't prepared to look after ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It was a learning
experience.
My entire 20s was learning how to look after myself.
I mean, yeah. That's the time to do it when you're young and your body can take it.
Yeah, when you're in your 20s, you can do that.
Yeah, your body can handle the abuse. Once you turn 25, though, things change.
So when you start to feel it.
Yes, that's when the hangovers start to take a little too long to go away.
Hit all day. All fucking day.
That's when you start to wake up with a neck kink just from sleeping a little weird. And a neck kink does not go away for 3 days. Anyway.
No. Even longer than that, I would say.
Oh, shit. I mean, now that we're in our 30s, sure, but 25, maybe it would have been only 3 days?
I would say late 20s. I had one that lasted a couple of weeks, and it was bad.
Oh, that is rough.
Until a coworker found it. And found that it was coming from my shoulder.
Oh.
And I was like telling her, my neck, I can't move my neck back. I can't look. I can't move my head. And she's like, is this it? And she like touches a spot on my shoulder blade, and it like zaps all the way up my neck. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Whoa.
How did you know? She knew exactly what I was talking about and where it was.
That's
Magic
crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, I'm glad she found that for you. But shall we get into Shadow Scale?
Yeah, let's do this.
Where did we leave off our character, Seraphine?
In chapter 12. Chapter 12, we find out that Joseph is the new regent of Blistane, and he is working with Genola and Ingar. He takes Seraphina and Abdo prisoner. And in chapter 13, Genola frees Seraphina and Abdo and gets them on a ship to Periphery. Seraphina gets in contact with Lars and sends him to update Griselda on what's going on in Blistane.
Right. All right, so let's start with chapter 14. Take it away.
So it takes 10 days to get to Periphery from the boat. Seraphina sees dark shapes swooping over the mountains behind the city, and she realizes that she sees the dragons.
Oh shit, they're just out and about.
Flying about. Abdo tells her that those are the exiles. Seraphina wants to go straight to the Goredi embassy, but Abdo tells her to do it later because he just wants to go home and rest. So he heads straight there with Seraphina scurrying to keep up behind him. They don't care if Ingar notices him take off, and Seraphina kind of hopes that he trips on a fishing line and dies.
Oh my god! Oh shit.
But unfortunately, he keeps up.
Damn.
Abdo lives with his Aunt Naya. He knocks, and when she opens the door, Abdo bursts into tears and collapses into her arms.
Aww.
He shows her his hand, and they start to communicate in sign. Seraphina wonders how long it'll take Ingar to figure out sign language. Probably pretty soon.
Right, yeah. Because he's the one who is, like, super gifted with language learning.
Yeah, he understands languages. Those people amaze me, actually. That'd be cool.
Is it not, like, part of his half-dragon abilities?
It could be, but there's actual people who are gifted in learning languages.
Which
just
makes
get it. They just get it.
I think that people find it easier to learn more languages if they already know more than one. Yeah. And I guess it's like the learning skills or like the conjugation and stuff just transfers over. I don't know. But I think I've heard that's a thing.
Yeah, some people just get it. Linguistics is what it's called, I believe.
Yeah.
They go inside the apartment and Serafina helps Abdo take off the bandages and explains what happened to him since Abdo is having difficulty signing with this hand. He even shows his aunt how much he can move, and all he can move is like a bit of his thumb. Fingers won't move.
That's not good.
Yeah. The next morning, Abdo is too ill to leave his bed. So the rest of them get ready, and Naya tells them that she expects them to make a trip to the public baths later that day. They must be really stinky for it to be bored. So you guys can take a bath today, huh?
I guess they've been on the road for a while.
Yeah. They were like just spent like 10 days on a boat.
Right.
No washing. That would make anyone stinky.
They probably smell like fish and BO.
Heavy on the BO. Serafina is uncomfortable with the idea of a public bath, but Ingar seems into it. So they all leave the apartment and set off in their own ways. Serafina heads to the embassy. She finds it in a tiny alley marked with a rabbit doorknob. She knocks, and the ambassador, without letting her in, takes her name, leaves, and comes back with a thnick for her. Serafina assumes that Griselda must have sent word to give her a thnick of her own. She decides not to head back to the apartment in case Genola is listening in through Abdo, so she heads to the docks instead. She sits on a rock on the harbor and she calls. Griselda excitedly answers and tells her that she got her message through Lars, and that it was very smart of her to tell Viridius as well, since Lars has been compromised. It's fucking Lars.
Fuck.
It was him this whole time.
Yeah.
Griselda explains that Lars and Viridius came to her, and Lars had told her that Serafina lost her thnick and was heading to Periphery, and the whole time Viridius kept interrupting, telling him to tell them, but Lars kept talking over him until Viridius finally shouted that Joseph had usurped the regent, and Lars kicked his cane out from under him. This is an old man! Viridius hit his head and was unconscious for 2 whole days.
Oh my god. Janula.
Bad concuss. That is bad.
Yeah, that's a straight up coma.
Right? That is. This guy probably has brain damage now.
Shit.
And that is bad.
Yep.
So now they're broken up, and Lars is moved in with the other half dragons. It's a bit sad, but whoa.
You can't. Yeah, he's a danger to himself and others.
Yep. So now he's got to be with the others.
Fucking Janula, this bitch.
Right? That's an old man!
Yep.
Shit. After Viridius recovered, he told Griselda and Lucian what happened in Blistane with Joseph in the coup. Serafina further elaborates to Griselda that Genola was there as well and had clearly gotten a hold of Lars. She also explains that all of the half-dragons have basically been taken over by Genola at this point.
Yeah.
Griselda tells Serafina that Commandant and Lucian are traveling to Porphyry ASAP to join Esgar's cause.
Excuse me?
Yup.
Mr. Kiggs?
Kiggs.
He's back?
Oh boy, for the sexual tension.
I can't wait. I want them to fuck.
They're kids!
They're teens.
Kids!
Teens are horny.
Yeah, they are. They're very, 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 very horny.
Yeah.
But kids.
Yeah, but they still want to fuck.
They sure do.
I think they should fuck.
I don't want to hear about kids fucking.
I mean, if you put it like that.
I will.
Gross.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Griselda Griselda tells her that she needs to finish what needs to be done in Porphyry because in 2 weeks, Commandant and Lucian should be arriving, and Seraphina and the other half dragons with her will be returning to Gorid with Lucian. So basically, Commandant is coming basically to join Escar, and then Lucian is just coming to escort them back.
I see. Isn't Seraphina like 18 at this point?
I don't know. She was 16 in the last book.
Okay, maybe she's almost 18. She's nearly an adult.
Legally, but not biologically.
Oh, fuck.
They can kiss.
They can kiss.
Seraphina squeaks in excitement while Griselda talks about how jealous she is that they get to have an adventure while she is stuck in the castle.
Adventures, alright.
Alright.
They're gonna explore each other.
Sexual. She hears another voice, and then Griselda tells her that she has to go and hangs up, leaving Seraphina feeling excitement and guilt for being excited over Lucian's arrival.
Dude, she should just tell Griselda. Just say, hey, I have the hots for your fiance. That's cool, right?
I have the feels. That's that chapter.
Okay. Exciting. Feels like this chapter is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's just getting to Porphyry and Seraphina finally getting back in touch with Griselda.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kiggs is coming!
With Commandant!
In more than one way. Okay.
Whoa!
I'm done. I'm done now.
Okay.
So...
Chapter 15. The next day, Abdo is still not getting out of bed. Seraphina asks Aunt Naya if she can wake him to bring him to the priest to remove Genola. But Naya tells her that's not a good idea since the last time they saw each other, they had a fight and left on bad terms. She doesn't even think that the priest Polos Pende would even want to see Abdo. And I can't help but wonder why a grown adult is holding grudge against a child.
Yeah, that's fucking so immature.
That's making me go, is this a narcissist or something? Like, what? I can't imagine any sane adult.
Right? A 10-year-old child insulted me. I'm not gonna help him when he has literally a human disease in his fucking brain.
Right? Like, that's a kid. So
can you imagine if, like, a doctor got mad at their 10-year-old patient and then refused to treat them?
Yeah. Ingar joins them, and Seraphina doesn't want him to know of her plans, so she leads him to the local library instead, that she knows that Orma likes to frequent, with the plan of losing him there.
Losing Ingar there?
Yeah, she wants to secretly visit Palos Pende.
And he is... He's the guy who can... He's the doctor.
Who can rip Genola. Or he's like the exorcist who rips Genola out of...
Yeah, I just meant in my analogy.
Priest.
Doctor Priest.
Yeah, so she was planning to go see Palos Pende after ditching Ingar at the library.
Got it.
While heading to the library, Ingar tells Seraphina that he has his own library. That he had his own library sent to Gorid. Genola plans on creating heaven on earth in Gorid, and he wants to help with his collection of books, of which he has 27,000.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Books back then, super expensive.
Exactly.
Super expensive. Because they were all handwritten.
They were.
Mm-hmm.
And hand-bound.
Mm-hmm.
Handmade paper, handmade leather.
Mm-hmm.
He tells her that his mother started the collection, which is how she met his dragon father, who used to collect rare books for her, including the original testaments of Saint Vit, Saint Nola, and Saint Eustace, which impresses Seraphina.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, was it Eustace or Gertrudis?
I wrote down Eustace.
Okay. I mean, that's probably right, but for some reason the name Gertrudis is banging around in my head right now.
Maybe?
No, I'm sure you wrote it down properly.
The library comes into view, and it's huge. It takes up an entire city block and more. Ooh.
Okay.
Her plan to ditch him at the library fails when she is unable to pry herself from the books herself.
Relatable. Back when we were teens.
Right? All I want to do is hang out in the library.
Yeah.
She uses the excuse that she might find Orma to stay and change her plans. She starts out by exploring the musicologist section, as that is what Orma specializes in. She finds a copy of a book that looks familiar to her, and she discovers that it is in fact Orma's book when she opens it and finds his journal stuffed in there, filled with notes in his writing.
Oh, shit.
Crazy. That's crazy.
And, like, the cover, I think, was, like, damaged or something from when she had attacked him as Janula back in the day.
And by attacked, smooched.
No, but, like, yes, she smooched him, but then after he rejected her, she attacked him.
And yeah. So the book has...
And that's when the book got damaged.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, like, a big... how she recognized it, too.
Yeah.
Because it was damaged with the claws.
Yeah.
One of the notes has thesis on top, and basically he is hypothesizing that the saints must have been half-dragons, as each of their powers seem to be similar to that of the current half-dragons that he knows. Which, that's crazy. I want to hear more.
Oh,
they're all half-dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So their abilities are half-dragon abilities.
Yeah, so that's what... And, like, the unique book of some of them are half-dragon, like, mutations or whatever. Like, one of the saints having blue skin, one of the saints having, like, extra legs, stuff like that.
Shit. What about Saint Capiti's head in a platter?
Could be.
I think Seraphina actually literally thinks to herself that maybe that one was exaggerated.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
So, Orma thinks that the saints are half-dragons. Soon enough, though, a librarian banging a gong makes their way through the library, and Seraphina realizes that she had spent all day there, and it's now closing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, damn. Seraphina writes on one of his notes to find her and leaves the address that she's staying at. She wonders if she should wait for Ingar, and then decides that he can find his own way home.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Outside, a litter is waiting, and a tall, statuesque woman steps out, with her hair piled up like Marge Simpson, probably, and a circlet is, like, wrapped around it, showing that she is a Gogi, which Abdo warned her about.
What's a Gogi?
I don't quite remember.
Okay.
She approaches Seraphina, knowing her full name, and introduces herself as Zithia Perdexis Kamba, and tells her that Palos Pente sent her to find them.
What the hell?
She asks where Ingar is, and on cue, they see a couple of librarians escorting him out, taking his books from him, while he kicks and screams. He's not. I'm imagining it that way.
Oh, okay.
He's just being escorted out, with his books being taken from him.
Got it.
When Ingar sees Kamba, he pauses. Kamba tells him that she is there to escort them to Palos Pende, and he's like, hell nah, and he turns and he runs.
Oh.
Two of the litter bearers run after him, but Ingar rips off his shirt and unfurls his great silver wings and takes off as elegantly as a chicken.
Oh, okay.
So, at first I didn't catch that, and I thought he actually flew elegantly.
Oh.
Even though I was writing the notes and I saw as a chicken.
That's great.
Anyways, he manages to pull himself to the roof of the library, to which Kamba just pulls off her shoes and climbs up the library wall, no problem.
Like Spider-Man? Like using her feet?
Yup. Like Spider-Man.
What the fuck?
With her hands and her feet clawing her way up.
Is she a half-dragon?
So Seraphina wonders if Kamba is a half-dragon, but she notices that she had never seen her in her visions and figures that maybe she's not.
Okay.
On the roof, Kamba throws Ingar over her shoulder and climbs back down with him squirming and shouting. Literally.
She picked up this dude and threw him over her shoulder?
Climbs down
I'm sorry?
with him squirming. Like a little child.
Who is this woman? God damn, she's like a superhero.
No more. She stuffs him in the litter, and Seraphina and Kamba jump in with him, and they set off. Ingar whines that Zernola warned him about Palos Pente and that he is a dangerous man. Kamba informs him that Palos is the kindest man she's ever met, but she is dangerous and will break his arms if he tries anything.
I love
And
that.
then she opens a scroll and starts reading Chill as a Cucumber.
Okay, I love her.
Right?
Official. She's my
Very
favorite.
interesting. I like this lady.
She is a bad bitch. And I love it. She is that bitch.
She is. That's that chapter.
That's it? Those are the chapters?
Those are the chapters.
Holy fuck, we flew through those.
Yeah.
Damn.
They were pretty beady. Like this chapter was pretty short. Chapter 15.
Okay.
It was pretty short. It was just the library, and then Kamba.
That bitch.
That bitch. In a good way.
Okay, so how do we explain her abilities if she's not a half-dragon?
I have no idea. Like, was she a monk?
She's like channeling her ki.
Right? It makes
Hmm.
sense. That's religious. There are priests there.
Yes, but supernatural abilities? The only explanation we really have for supernatural abilities is being a half-dragon. So,
Yeah.
if she is a half-dragon, what reasons could there be that she is not in Seraphina's garden?
Palos Pente.
You know what? That could be it.
Something about him. We haven't met him yet, and I'm looking forward to that.
Right.
I want to meet him. I want to see him pull Genola out of Ingar.
Yes, he's becoming a very mysterious figure.
And I also want to learn what bullshit reason that he's pissed off at Abdoa about.
Right.
That he's holding a grudge about.
Well,
What
maybe
did this child do?
maybe Abdo did do something. He's not off the hook yet being sus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's still true. He's still a sus kid.
Maybe he did something violent towards Paulos Pente.
Ooh.
And he's like, I can't see that kid anymore. For my safety. And his. I don't know.
That would be understandable if Abdo turns out to be a psychopath.
Or some sort of...
Then I can see an adult holding a grudge against a child.
Yeah, and it might not even be a grudge. Maybe that's just how, like, Abdo's interpreting it.
Aunt Naya.
Right. Maybe that's just how she's interpreting it. But maybe it's more like, yeah, for safety reasons, I cannot see this child.
Okay. Yeah.
And maybe Abdo's not a psychopath. Maybe, like, I don't know, Janula possessed him without his knowledge. Or maybe this creepy...
Beforehand?
Yeah. Or maybe this creepy god who he belongs to is using him as some sort of tool.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that god that he belongs to.
Yeah. I forget
Who
the
is
god's
this
name.
god?
It starts with a C, I think.
Chance?
Yeah, the chance god, but I forget
I
what
don't
he's
remember
called.
his name. I just know that it's Chance.
Yeah. Creepy! Anyway, I'm excited to see Kiggs again.
Yeah.
Again, I loved him
The chemistry.
and Seraphina together. The chemistry is there.
Most often than not, I find that the chemistry is better than the actual romance.
Oh, yeah?
Like, every show I've seen, like, say, Bones.
Okay.
It's better when they just have chemistry, but once they get together, then it's like, oh, this is boring.
Yeah,
I like the
it's
tension.
exactly like in The Office. It's like the will they, won't they of like
Yeah.
what are their names again?
Pam
Pam and
I don't know the other.
Shh. Fuck, we're bad. We're bad at this.
No.
No, that's the actor. Fuck me. This is embarrassing.
It's like totally a normal, basic white man name. Is it?
Jim!
Huh?
Jim.
Jim. I knew it was a J.
Yes. Close. I had to Google that. That's how embarrassing that is. But to be fair, I have never been a huge fan of The Office. I know, crazy.
Yeah.
Crucify me. It's fine.
I'm not either. Johnny loves it, and I've seen a lot of it because of him.
I just find Michael Scott is so cringe.
It is. He is cringe. He pisses me off. All these violations, I'm like, whoa, he'd be fired. Whoa, he'd be fired.
People find it funny, and that's fine. That's just like, to me, it's more cringe than funny, which makes it painful to watch.
Yeah. My logic brain just won't turn off. I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be jokes. It's supposed to be jokes. It's supposed to be jokes, Jessica. It's supposed to be a joke. Jessica. I just get mad instead.
Yeah. I mean, there are definitely funny moments, but most of the time I'm just cringing. But I really like the Jim and the Pam parts when it's like the will they, won't they. And that goes on for season after season, I think.
And I really liked watching them slowly fall for each other. But once they're together, it's like, okay.
Exactly. Once they're together, the will they, won't they question is answered, and that all of that tension just dies away. So I totally get that. However, I also have to acknowledge that the viewer, writer, or the viewer or reader or whoever would never be satisfied unless there was an answer at some point.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Maybe it should come later rather than sooner, or maybe there needs to be some complications once the will they is answered. Which I think they did a bit of that in The Office with the cheating. Like, I think she cheated on her partner or something. I don't remember exactly. But I remember it being a little more complex. But that, I think, makes it kind of juicy.
Kind of dead. It's good for TV.
Yeah, of course. In real life, no.
Not at all.
That's just sad.
It is.
But yeah, so in this situation with Serafina and Kiggs, we have the will they, won't they.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, we know they're into each other, but Kiggs feels obligated to stay with Griselda, especially after everything she's been through. Serafina thinks they should just tell her so they can be together.
But he's choosing Griselda over her. Right?
Yeah, he's currently choosing Griselda, but I think it feels like he's still stringing Serafina on a little bit, because the way he, like, I feel like I'm remembering him saying, like, for now, Griselda has dealt with so much that I don't want to dump this on her.
Yeah.
Which makes it sound like maybe down the line we could do something.
He does make it sound like that.
But anyway, that adds like all the juicy factor that I was kind of talking about, which I like. So even if they do end up like hooking up or whatever, there's a lot more that they would need to deal with.
Yeah.
But that being said, I still agree that the will they, won't they part is super fun. And almost more fun before the will they, won't they is answered.
I agree. I'm into the will they, won't they tension.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want more of the podcast, you can connect with us on Instagram. You can follow our podcast, TIGBAB Podcast, or choose to follow us individually. My username is Crimby, and Jess goes by jess.egan24. Additionally, find us on Facebook by searching for TIGBAB Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better. Also, don't forget to explore the music of our talented friend, Bahram, on Spotify. He created the catchy jingle you heard at the beginning of the episode and produces amazing ambient tunes. Perfect for reading, actually. So it's Bahrambient on Spotify, and that's spelled Bahrambient. Lastly, consider checking out our Patreon page at patreon.com/teaisgood.books-are-better. We offer a $5 tier where you can listen to us force our brother to watch Game of Thrones, or enjoy outtakes and access other behind-the-scenes content. Most importantly, sharing our podcast with your family and friends would mean the world to us and greatly contribute to our podcast's growth. Thank you so much for being a listener. And see us next time to see the grand reunion, hopefully, of Seraphina and Kiggs. Will they finally make out? Did they make out in the last book?
I think they already smooched. Did they smooch?
I feel like they also smooched.
Yeah, I think they smooched.
Okay. They have kissed. We'll confirm that for next time. Will they kiss again?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.